Hey, welcome back into ION Agriculture. I'm Britton Rucker. After a summer that doesn't want to end, many cattle producers are preparing their herds for some cooler temps. We're bringing in Jason Warner, Extension cow-calf specialist at Kansas State University. And Jason, now that fall is here, what should cattle producers be focusing on to keep their herds transitioning smoothly after such a long and hot summer?
Yeah, Brittany, I think a couple of things we want folks to keep in mind, particularly on the side of managing cows, is now's a great time to really be assessing body condition in those females as we think about moving into this time of year. And that's important for both our spring calving cow herds that aren't going to be calving here for a little while yet, but then certainly for our fall calving females as well too. Those females are going to be calving here fairly soon. So now's just a really great time to be doing that, to just help kind of set the stage for what the feeding and nutrition program needs to look like for the remainder of the year. But then also, too, just getting a jump start on things like getting pens clean, getting our calving grounds prepared for calving, because when we think about those folks that are going to be calving here in January already, just a few months down the road, so that'll be coming up soon. So just kind of doing some of those things now is always good practice.
Absolutely. As cooler temperatures settle in, how should producers adjust their feeding and nutrition plans to keep cattle healthy, especially coming off such an intense summer?
Yeah, so one thing that we really want to keep in mind, I think now, especially for folks that if they've weaned or are going to be getting ready to wean springborn calves now here in the month of October, this can be a really challenging time period because we've got a lot of wide temperature swings where we can typically have days like what we've had here over the last couple of weeks where we can have some pretty wide temperature swings. And that can certainly make it challenging for weaned calves this time of the year as folks are getting those calves through that weaning process and started onto a feeding or backgrounding program. And so just really managing for intake to try to keep that as consistent as we can and try to avoid a lot of changes or fluctuations in feed intake, which can often be greater when we've got time periods where we've got maybe 30, 40 degree temperature swings during the day. So just really being very diligent in that feeding and nutrition program for those calves this time of year is really critical.
Jason, water quality and access remain critical even in the cooler months. What should cattle producers consider as we move into the fall and eventually winter?
I think right now just be looking at your sources, and if you anticipate that you're going to have to go to a backup source of water at some point during that winter time period, just be thinking about what that plan is going to be if you're in the situation, if you're going to have to do that, whether you've got to haul water or maybe create another access point, those types of things. Just being able to look at that, I think, is really important. At the same time, too, if folks are concerned about water quality, if they're concerned about things like total dissolved solids or sulfates, those types of things in their drinking water for those cow herds, we can always do some strategic sampling of those ponds or of those water sources to make a good recommendation, management recommendation there on how we might need to adjust if we've got some water quality issues. So I think the thing is just really monitoring it closely here and having a plan in place to be able to adjust it if needed.
Well, Jason, thanks so much for coming on and chatting with me. Everyone stick around to ION Ag. We'll be back after the break.